Well, the grapes are rather small this year, but they probably won't be picked for another, I would say 3 weeks, but they are looking rather small. Well, the next part of the touristic route to Champagne, this part is actually quite a short one. We're going to go and traverse Epernay, so that we can pick up the route on the next side, because we've got to get through Epernay. We could go what I consider the wrong way around. It might even be better, but what I'm going to show you is how to get to Epernay. Now, they are doing roadworks in Epernay, so I might have to adjust the route, unfortunately. So that might take a minute. Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Could hear the bells. I didn't hear right. I didn't hear that, but never mind. Okay. Let's hope that Calimoto is recording for the GPX file to take you through. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down into 𝗪𝗄, and then we're going to go past the supermarket where there's fuel and that type of thing. We're going to turn right at the roundabout there, and then we're going to enter into Epernay, so a slightly different route. This will then take us eventually to the Avenue de Champagne, and then at the next roundabout, at the end of that, hopefully we'll be able to turn left, the third junction, and go down through to pick up the route touristique de Champagne again. This little hill is rather special. Keep it in a low gear, because you've got tractors and farm equipment and people who don't know what they're doing coming round these bends. Oh, we've got white grapes here. I don't know if you saw that. Obviously locals. Right, we're going to cross over the main road here. And come into a place called 𝗪𝗄𝗄, which is next to 𝗪𝗄𝗄. A lot of this is zone 30. Now, if you're, I've never tried this, so I don't know if it's good, bad, indifferent, but there's a hotel just after this roundabout, and because you're outside of Epernay, it might be safer to park the bike, but I do know that further on there are some bed and breakfasts and so on. So we're turning right here. It's a big tonneau. Auberge Champenoise. There's parking down there, but how good it is, I don't know. Right, this is 𝗪𝗄𝗄. Not sure of the speed limit, probably 30. Not certain. And then we'll come into 𝗪𝗄𝗄. There's a chateau in Bering which also does champagne. So that's worth a visit. We're outside of 𝗪𝗄 and in Bering. No overtaking. Let Charlie go through. The chateau is just on the right here. The parking is there and the chateau is here. I believe they do champagne in there as well. So I do need one day to come here and actually go for a tasting. The problem is I'll be absolutely legless because I rather like champagne. I'll probably be broke as well. I mean, bought up most of their stocks. 𝗪𝗏𝗍 𝗪𝗏𝗏. There are a lot of champagnes here that I have no idea what they are. There's a bakery, boulangerie, and a cafe just here as well. They're all queuing up for their bread for lunchtime, and probably sandwiches as well. Okay. Another champagne house. I mean, they're just going to be, you know, they'll be like a rash, the champagne houses. Now, they're everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Right, there's a big supermarket in a sort of industrial area with a McDonald's and that type of thing. And there's also petrol here. So if you need to fuel up, this is a good place to do it. We're going to go right at this roundabout. You'll find that the signs are few and far between here until we get outside. There are signs, but they're not necessarily in a place where you can see them easily. For example, that's at the exit of the roundabout rather than at the entrance. The next roundabout, we're going to actually turn left to go into Epernay, although there is a sign saying you need to turn right for the route to Champagne. That's sort of doing, you then have a choice of which route to Champagne you want to do. There's the which sector, two of which we've done, and one of which we will be doing, so ignore that for now. Come round and follow the road. Now to the left there are more restaurants and eateries and that type of thing, so if you're looking for some food, that's a good place to go. Unfortunately Epernay is, how can I put it, sort of a bit industrialized, well, very industrialized, because you've got everybody supplying the champagne trade as well as the champagne trade as well. And then because it is a city, you've then got the usual businesses and that type of thing. There is a nice cathedral. I don't think we're going to be going past it. But, there is a nice cathedral. Right, this roundabout we are going to go left. So the second turning. And then at the roundabout just at the top here we're going straight over. I think there's a hospital on the right, but I'm not 100% sure. So straight across here and straight through the traffic lights. I've turned off blooming Google and all of that, but it keeps on irritating me. I don't want it. This area, and it's not until we get to the centre that we will find the Avenue de Champagne. As I say, I don't know that. I just find Epernay and 𝗪𝗵𝗲𝗵𝘁, they're not really very nice towns. They're sort of drab and a bit sort of like a northern English mill town. You can only go one way here. Just careful of vehicles coming up from the left. They're supposed to stop, but whether they do or don't is a different matter. So it just reminds me a bit sort of northern mill town. Halifax sort of springs to mind for some reason, though I haven't been to Halifax for a very, very long time. Went round it a couple of years ago on the ring road, but not into it, so it's probably changed. This used to be on the left-hand side a big car park, and they're making it into a park now. Of some sort. Not 100% sure exactly what it is. We're going to be going left at this roundabout at the top. Here. As you can see, Moet and Chandon is there. And we're taking the first right, sorry. Don't know my left from my right. And this is the Avenue du Champagne. So all the big champagne houses of Epernay have their offices here. So on the right at the moment is Moet and Chandon. You can go round. The visitor centre is just there. I think if I remember rightly, there's 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗂. In fact, it's probably better if I shut up and just mention them as I go past. The museum. 𝗪𝗂𝗪𝗔. And still a school. Villa Roads. Okay, at the roundabout in front is Mercier, and that's well worth a visit. They sort of marketed champagne about 150 years ago and started the craze for it. They have a nice visitor centre and worth visiting. We're going to go left at this roundabout here. But I would recommend that if you are going to go to Mercier, which is just down there. Right, becomes a bit more industrialized, it does. We're down by the railway. And the canal, I believe, is next to the railway, or that might be the river, and then the canal is a bit further over, not sure. Right. We're going straight on. We're wanting magenta. We don't want Chateau-Thierry, we want magenta. And they've blocked off the route on the other side, which is a bit of a problem. Okay. And again, we're going to go straight on. And then, so straight over these lights and then left at the next lights. Now there is another route to Champagne, if you want, which is right at the next set of lights. And that will take you down towards Bollinger. But there's absolutely nothing else down there apart from Bollinger. There's very few vines or anything like that. So I might not actually even do that route. So, not sure what's going on here. Anyhow, we're going over there. This looks like a river rather than a canal. But if you wanted to go and see Bollinger, you would go down to the right down there. It's quite a distance, and it's sort of a bit like this most of the route down. It's not very pleasant. And I've got an idiot in a Citroen behind. It's a bit of a problem. Kawasaki and Suzuki closed for lunch, I think. Canicule. Oh dear. That means heat wave, by the way. Canicule. Even though I think it's what, 27 degrees it's saying here, it's probably actually less than that because the thermometer seems to overread, so I'd probably say it's 26, possibly 25. It's a bit warm on the feet, but that's what FJRs are. To say this is all very industrial. I'll let the whole video run. I'm not going to edit it. So you actually see how to get through Epernay, because there are sort of other routes and things like that. In fact, there's a route further over to the left which has which takes you to Reims, and is a bit quicker, but you'd have to then cross through a place called Dizy and cross over this way, and it's not marked. I've done this a few times, 10, 15 times, I think, because I sometimes stop and have lunch here. As you can see, it's very industrial. It is a city, so it's what you can expect. Right, actually this might be the canal that we're going to go over now. As you can see, we're coming into a place called Dizy, yeah! And don't know what it is. This is the canal, yes. So there's the canal. We've just gone over it. Probably can't see it. And we're going to go right here. Okay. So into this 30-mile-an-hour zone. And I'm going to stop the video as soon as I can find a suitable parking place. Because we're now on the next route, so I'm going to just pull in here and stop the video. So that's how you get through. That's how you get through Epernay.